Hello everyone, welcome back to another YouTube channel video. Today's video I'll be showing you guys how to make a 1v1 arena where you enter the arena, you will get a sword, and when you leave the arena, the sword will disappear from the inventory. So to put this into perspective, I have my game right here, and over here I'm going to make a 1v1 island, and inside this cube is going to be the main island, 1v1 arena. So I want every time a player enters this box, they're gonna get a sword, and every time they leave, the sword is gonna get removed. So to implement this into an actual build, head over to an empty base plate or your current game. I've set up a small base plate over here. Now what you want for this is you need your main box. For me, I've chosen a normal part. I made it force field and I've turned some color on. You can do whatever you want. And then after that, you need a tool. So I'm gonna take the sword as my tool. You can take a gun or whatever you want for your tool. Now that you have these, you gotta make sure that the sword is a tool, and you need to put it in replicated storage. Make sure the sword name is spelled exactly like this. Now go to your base plate and go to this part, rename it main part. Once you've done this, you're ready to start scripting. Make sure that the main part has cancel light off and anchored on, and make sure that the tool in here has anchored off right here. If all this is true, then insert a script to the main part. For me, I'm gonna call this script anything, so I'm gonna say main script. Delete the print and let's get into it. So first off, we're gonna make some variables for the script. So we're gonna say local trigger part equals game.workspace.main part, and this is the part right here. This is the main part. So if you have renamed it to anything else, then you need to change this to the name of it. Let's make the sword storage now. So let's say local sword storage equals game get service replicated storage dot sword. You could also do the wait for child here, but this works just as fine as well. So with these two, we now know what the trigger part is, and we know where the sword is located. Then we're going to say local event connections, just like this. Let's go down and make the first function now. So we're going to say local function on character child added, something like this. You want to put child. If child dot name equals to the sword, so the child of the server storage, then for underscore comma connection in ipairs event connections do connection disconnect. You want to have your first end here. Let's go down one line. Let's say event connections equals and these parameters here. Now you want to have your two ends, so I'm gonna add a bit of space and then I'm gonna go to the next section. I'm gonna say local function on character child remove child dot name equals to sword, then event connections 1 equals trigger part touched connect function other part. Now you want to say local player equals game dot players get player from character other part dot parent. So this gets the parent of the other part. Zoom a bit out so we can see the entire script. You guys can pause the video as well when you need to write something down. Now say if player then local backpack player dot backpack. This is the backpack of the player. This is where we're gonna keep the sword. This is the manual built-in Roblox standard. We're gonna say local sword clone because we're gonna clone the sword. Backpack find first child sword. So we're gonna clone the sword in our replicated storage into the backpack of the player, so the player gets the sword. If not sword clone, then sword clone equals sword storage clone sword clone dot parent equals backpack, and then you want to have your ends down here. I'm gonna make space. I'm gonna begin on a new section down here. Say event connections 2 equals trigger part dot touch ended connect function other part. Now we want to define the local player game dot players get player from character other part dot parent. If player, then local backpack equals player dot backpack local sword clone equals backpack find first child sword. If sword clone, then sword clone destroy. So here we're going to remove the sword or the sword clone, which is our sword from the replicated storage when the trigger part dot touch ended. So when the person leaves the trigger part, then we're going to remove the sword right here. And we're also going to check if the sword clone is actually inside of the backpack, because if it's not inside the backpack, then there is nothing to remove or destroy in this case. Now you want to have your ends again. You want to have all 5 this time. And let's continue in the next part. So let's say event connections 1 equals trigger part touched. Connect this to a function or the other part. Local player is game.players get player from character. Other part dot parent player, then local backpack equals player.backpack. Local sword clone equals backpack. Find first child sword. If not sword clone, then sword clone sword storage clone sword clone dot parent equals the backpack. So if the trigger part is touched in this case, so this part right here, which we call trigger part, if that is touched, then we want to make sure that the sword is actually inside the player backpack. So we're going to define again the backpack and the local player, and then we're going to make sure that this sword clone is in the backpack. And if the sword clone is not in the backpack, then we want to clone it to the backpack and then to the backpack and then to the backpack right here. Event connections to trigger part, touch ended connect, function it to the other part once again. And if you want, you can just copy this from the other things, but I'm just gonna type it out. So local player equals game.players get player from character, other part parent player, then local backpack equals player.backpack, local sword clone equals backpack, find first child sword. If not sword clone, then sword clone equals wait, I messed up here. We have to say if sword clone like this, then have to backpack sword clone destroy. Let's see, yeah, this looks correct. Let's go down here and let's make the last function. So local function on player added player.character added, connect this to a function and call it character. Say the character child added, connect on character added, that character dot child remove, connect this to the on character child remove and then we're gonna say game.players.player added connect player added. Like this. Here we misspelled character, so let's just fix this character like that. And then here, gotta fix that. That is the script right there. So let's go ahead and check if this script works. So we're gonna go to the game right here, and we're going to press play. Okay, now we're inside the game. So let's go ahead and open up the view. Go down to output right here. And let's open it up and let's see if we have any errors immediately. So this is a plugin, this is not the actual code right here. It doesn't look like we have any errors, so let's go ahead and test if the script works. As you can see, we enter the box, get a sword, and we can run around and kill others with the sword. And once we want to go out again, we can simply just leave. There we go, the sword gets removed. So this could be bugged right now because the debug is not very good. I'm sure you can bug it out somehow, but for now this actually works. So when you enter and leave, you can see the sword is up here. And if you open the player, go into the backpack, you can see the sword right here is here. Here you go. And the backpack gets empty. Go back, we have a sword again. You can see only one sword gets added at a time, so you could spam this out, but then, you know, they're gonna get removed. So let's just go ahead and remove them for now. So yeah, that gets removed. That's really cool. And when you're looking at the replicated storage, the sword is gonna stay there permanently, but the sword clone goes up here. So you're gonna have this down here forever. Make sure that when you guys do this, you don't put this into a model, for example. Model this sword up. It has to be just the sword alone. So I'm going to ungroup this. There you go. And I think that is all for today. If you guys have any concerns for the script, if it doesn't work, then leave it in the description or join the Discord and open the ticket. The script, if you guys want the script directly, if you guys don't want to type it out, that's going to be in the Discord as well. So you have to join up and you can find it in there. And if you guys have any questions or concerns about future uploads, or if you have any ideas, what you want to see, then please leave that in the comments as well. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.